So we are quite glad as a project that we have kicked off the Kenya Innovation Week with our event, where we have engaged with a wider array of stakeholders from within and without, or rather outside of the health sector, and sensitized them on the need for thinking through how to establish a regulatory sandbox for the health sector so as to promote the policy goals that the government has set in place for digital health, universal health outcomes, equitable access to health in the context of the digital economy.
But we asked the question, why health technology regulatory sandbox? And the world of health innovation is changing at unprecedented pace. I think we all align to this, that the technology we are discussing today will not be the same technology we are discussing tomorrow. However, as these innovations evolve, so too must the frameworks and the governance structures that surround this. I think it goes without saying that if we cannot just innovate on the technologies without necessarily moving with the same pace in terms of the governance structures. And to address these challenges, the Health Technology Regulatory Sandbox will provide a controlled environment. And it's an environment that would actually have flexibility and transparency that will enable the innovators, together with the regulators, at the pace that they can determine together, to be able to address the hurdles without necessarily creating bureaucracy, without causing the initial delays that we see.
I think we are very excited as a coalition because we are really seeing hope in the way the sandbox is going to bring together all the innovators and all the needs of regulation. I was very happy to hear about the pre-consultative stages and discussions that have brought together different players to actually identify the challenges and the problems. And now based on that, then this sandbox is actually informed of real issues that are affecting different sectors, and they are all in one room. So for me, that really stood out as a good way to start a sandbox for us here in Africa, in Kenya and in Africa largely.
One of the things that really stood out for me is the concerns about the delays in timelines for innovators and for clinical trialists. And anything that would shorten that timeline would really be welcome. Remember, we are in a very competitive world, so Kenya cannot afford to live in isolation. There are many countries around the region that have really streamlined their frameworks, making the process of approvals very, very fast, and we cannot afford to be left behind.
As an investor, what I'm hoping for is an increased appetite from other investors in investing in biotech. For investors, we normally have something called portfolio construction, and currently at Rift, we've only allocated 20% of our funds into biotech because of the high risk of the vertical. But right now, with this sandbox happening, and as a result, we'll expedite processes for the biotech startups, and we will increase our allocation to biotech.
It is quite remarkable that stakeholders are quite keen on taking an ecosystem approach to innovation and regulation of innovation, where they are calling for the involvement of wider stakeholders, including community groups and patient advocacy groups, etc., who are usually considered unconventional participants in the regulatory process or even the innovation process. And this demonstrates a shift in the thinking in Kenya about what the innovation process is all about. It is a collaborative process. It is a collective, inclusive process that is not just about the profit bottom line for innovators, but rather how innovation impacts on the wider society, and the fact that indeed the wider society has a stake and requires a seat at the table in being able to shape the narratives and the practices around innovation in the health sector. So I would like to thank the stakeholders that we have engaged with over the last 3 months since we started this Health Tech Regulatory Sandbox modeling project. We have seen a lot of positive support and engagement from the wider health sector, including health technology associations, the medical associations, importantly, the Ministry of Health. We really want to thank the Kenya Medical Research Institute for also being a key partner in the project, alongside CREED, of course, Villgro Africa, that has been the sponsor of this project and has also collaborated with us in bringing together the stakeholders in these consultations, and really the broader public that has walked into these meetings and made immense contributions that have shaped how we are thinking about exploring or rather establishing a regulatory sandbox in Kenya's health sector. So asanteni sana to all the stakeholders we have engaged with.